What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 14 of the poker vlog. We are headed to Downstream Resort and Casino to play a $150 buy-in tournament. We're going to pick up the action about halfway through. If you guys haven't seen episode 13 yet, head on back to the channel and take a look at that. That's going to cover the early stages of the tournament, and we're picking things up about midway through. I think you guys really like this episode. I've got a few hands that I need some input on. And yeah, should just be really good in general. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please let me know what you think of my play in the comments. I definitely need some feedback as we got into some very interesting spots. And yeah, see you guys in there. What's up, guys? Time to go over some hands for vlog number 14. Now, we pick up the action here about midway through a $150 buy-in, 5K guarantee at Downstream Resort and Casino. I'm sitting with a stack of about 50, somewhere between 50 and 55K. And yeah, let's jump into it. So hand number one, I look down at Jack of Clubs, 10 of Clubs from middle position. We're playing 400, 800 right now, so still fairly deep. I open the action at 2K, and only the middle position player, middle position 1, so the next player to act after me, makes the call. Now this player had been asking a lot of questions and doing a lot of things and not doing a lot of things that made it seem like he's not a very experienced player. So seemed like a pretty new player, but also seemed like a pretty smart human being. Like he was not doing anything dumb, not being too spewy, but was like being conservative and just had kind of unusual betting patterns. So anyway, he makes the call. Up comes down Jack High, Rainbow, but it's a paired board. So pretty happy with that flop, obviously. Don't think we should be really too afraid of anything. Anyway, we go ahead and lead out for 2,400, and he immediately raises us to 7,000. So not really sure what I should be doing here. I contemplated folding, thinking maybe there's no way he does this here without a 4, but I don't think I can just fold. And he had some other odd bluff earlier, maybe a couple of odd bluffs, but one he definitely bluffed in like a very weird fashion and ended up getting called down and having just like miscellaneous 2 cards. So anyway, I make the call. The turn is the 8 of hearts, so it puts a flush draw out there, but not a very, like, obviously a backdoor flush draw, so we're not too worried about that. I go ahead and check since he's taking the lead. I'm kind of trying to just get to showdown at this point. I check, sorry. I check. He bets 3K into a pot of a lot more than 3K. So obviously I make the snap call. Well, not the snap call, but I'm obviously always calling here. The river's the ace of spades. Not a card that I'm super happy about, but a card that should definitely favor my range a lot more than it favors his range since I'm the pre-flop raiser. Anyway, I check again. Maybe I could have taken the lead here, but I don't think so. I check. He bets 5,000, which is an extremely small bet again. I make the call, and he shows us ace 6 of hearts. So a pretty odd move on the flop. I don't hate it though. I like bluffing on the paired board. But anyway, we get the very bad news that he rivered us, so we lose a depressing one. So the next hand, I look down at Queen 9 of spades from the small blind. The action folds to me. We're playing 600, 1,200, and I've got about 37,000 to start. I go ahead and make it 2,600, and the big blind calls. The flop is all red and ace high. I go ahead and c-bet 3,000. The big blind calls. So pretty disappointed that he calls, but what are we gonna do? The turn is a red blank. I check. He bets 5,000. I've got no choice here. Just gotta make the fold. So we are headed in the wrong direction. So the next hand we play, things are starting to get pretty serious. We've got exactly 20 big blinds, and we are playing 600, 1,200 still. I look down at pocket 8s from under the gun. Now, not very happy about being under the gun with this hand, but with 20 big blinds, I've only got one move. so I go ahead and rip it in. A player who has opted to be known as Bald Beauty in this vlog, if he wanted to be, he said he wanted to be mentioned, and that's how he wanted to be mentioned. So anyway, Bald Beauty makes the call with Ace Queen. The flop somehow comes out clean for us, so we're super excited. The turn is another brick, and somehow he doesn't river an ace, and we get the full double up. So we go from 20 big blinds to 40 big blinds just like that, and all of a sudden we're starting to feel pretty good. Buckle up, guys, this next one is a big one. So we're sitting at 48K, we're in the small blind, we're still playing 600, 1200, so we've got about 40 big blinds. Middle position opens to 3100. The button, who has been playing fairly snug, it seemed like, but had been playing enough hands that it seemed he hadn't shown down anything bad, but I think he was playing fairly tight. Makes it 16,000. So we've got an open and a 3-bet in a tournament, in a live tournament. That usually means strength. So I'm looking down at my ace king of diamonds. I'm not feeling that amazing. Like, this 3-bet's gonna be aces or kings quite a bit. Like, I kind of feel like ace king is the worst hand that he does this with. Maybe he could do this with jacks, maybe, but with 40 big blinds, ace king suited, I don't think we have any other options. I go ahead and shove it all in for 48K. The middle position player folds, and the button thinks about it for a little bit, not very long, and makes the call. He flips over pocket queens, and we are off to the classic race. So we don't have to wait very long. We bang off an ace right there on the flop. Nothing bad happening on the turn or the river, and we double up to almost 100K. So we are feeling good, feeling pretty good. Okay, so this next hand is a pivotal one. I look down at Queen 10 of diamonds from the cutoff, still playing 600, 1200, and I've got about 90K to start the hand. I go ahead and open to 4K. The big blind calls. He's the only one that makes the call. The flop comes down, a pretty interesting one for us. The flop is King of diamonds, Queen of hearts, 9 of hearts. So we flop middle pair, backdoor flush draw, gut shot straight draw. The big blind checks. I bet 7,500, and he makes it 17,500. So I think he is a good enough player. This is Bald Beauty that we mentioned earlier. I think he's a good enough player to check raise bluff us here a decent amount of time. And this is a situation where the dynamics of being somebody who's making a vlog and people know you're making a vlog kind of can start messing with your head as a player. I was getting like aggressive vibes that he was kind of going after me. I think if I get check raised here, I can call, which is probably the best option. I can fold, since all I've got is middle pair. It's not the worst option, but I think with all the equity I have with my backdoor draws and my gut shot and hitting another queen, that I should probably be making the call and not folding. But I don't like the route I take. The route I take is to pop it again and make it 40K. The big blind thinks about it for a little bit. He starts talking out loud, wondering what sets I can have, talking about how like crazy this would be. I don't know. For some reason I just like had this overpowering feeling that like I was getting bluffed. But that feeling should have been waning pretty aggressively when the way he was thinking about the hand. I can definitely have all the sets here. He's right. But I mean, I probably don't have very much Jack 10. I maybe have I have some Jack 10. Anyway, he ends up going all in for 80K. So I feel like this is a pretty standard snap fold for me, right? Like, oops, I got caught. I tried to, make a play. I got caught. But I let this preconceived idea that I had that he's coming after me get in the way. I'm not sure why. I think about it. He tells me he'll show me just this once if I fold. I think about it some more. Should have made the fold. I just could not make the fold. I should have just called on the flop. But anyway, I end up making the call. Almost putting myself all in. He flips over King of clubs, Queen of diamonds. So he flopped it's King of clubs, Queen of clubs. For a flopped top 2 pair, I am drawing pretty slim, but not dead by any means. No diamond on the turn, no miracle jack on the river, and we are crippled down to 11k, and we are upset with how we play the hand. Very upset. Very disappointed in myself. You can't throw logic out the window. You can't throw your like game plan of like how you're playing. Like you can't throw your strategy out the window because you have this gut feeling that people are going after you. It's ridiculous. And it's gonna be something I'm going to do my utmost not to let happen ever again. So after losing that big hand with Queen 10, I'm crippled down to 11k, still playing 600, 1200. I look down at King of Hearts, Jack of Spades. Like I said, super short stacked. I shove over an early position limp, who is also very short. He calls me with Ace-5 of diamonds, so seems like a very loose limp. Well, maybe not a loose limp. Maybe he's looking to limp shove. I'm not 100% sure. And at this point, I didn't really have the mental fortitude to think about it too aggressively. Anyway, the first card that we can see on the flop is a king, but the bad news for us is it's a king of diamonds, and all the other cards on the flop are diamonds. So we are immediately drawing effectively dead, and we are busted. We are out of the tournament. Feel like we played most of our hands well, just played the one huge hand terribly, and that's how tournament poker works. Like, you mess up that one hand, RIP. Like, I played it terrible, very disappointed in myself. Gotta come back stronger. Like, gotta come back stronger. Terrible play. Ugh, that Queen 10 hand, I've thought about it every day since this tournament, and it's been a week and a couple days. I've thought about that hand at least once every single day, and I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Gonna drive me nuts, but we're gonna come back stronger. We're gonna play better. We're gonna get back after it.